Hi guys, and welcome back to Belle's Books. I hope you are having a lovely 2021 so far and reading lots of amazing books. Today I am going to talk to you about The Queen's Gambit by Walter Tevis. Please don't forget to like and subscribe using the buttons down below. Every new subscriber means so much to me, and I'd really love you to join our book reading and chatting community. So in case you hadn't heard, The Queen's Gambit is a Netflix series that came out back in November, but was based on the 1983 novel of Walter Tevis, also titled The Queen's Gambit, which I just finished reading. I got it for Christmas and I absolutely loved, so I thought I would come on here and review for you guys. If you've heard of the show, or you've watched the show, or you've heard that the show is based on the book, you've probably wondered whether or not the show is true to the novel, how closely related they are, if the novel is even worth reading, if it's worth reading if you've already watched the show, should you read the book and then watch the show, does it matter? So I'm here to answer those questions and chat to you about the book, especially in relation to the TV show. So a couple of warnings. First of all, if you are thinking about reading this book or watching the show, you should be aware that there is a lot of drug usage, there is a lot of alcoholism, and there are a few scenes of death in the TV show and the books. More so in the TV show because you get kind of the added visual for you to imagine, and less so in the book where the description isn't very detailed. Okay, so let's get started. So to summarize the plot of the book, basically the story is about Elizabeth Harmon, also called Beth, who is taken to an orphanage at age 8, and there she stays there until she's in her early teens, and while she's there she discovers two different ways to kind of deal with everything that's going on. One of which is through the abuse of drugs. All of the students at the orphanage are given these little tranquilizer pills and she soon becomes addicted to them. And the other way is through chess. She begins playing chess with the caretaker at the orphanage, and this kind of takes off and spirals her down a completely different career path that she might not ever have discovered otherwise. So to say first of all, I really enjoyed the TV show, and it's the reason I wanted to read the book, because I wanted to find out how true the book was to the TV show, how the writing was in the book, if it was just as compelling of a story when it was written down as when it was on TV. I felt like the actress who plays Elizabeth Harmon, Anya Taylor-Joy, was excellently suited and incredibly well cast. So I guess it would be good to start off with talking about whether or not the book is well written. Is it worth reading for the story? Is it worth reading for the writing? In my opinion, yes. Even if you've watched the Netflix TV show, I think you would enjoy this book because of the writing. So the writing of Walter Tevis is kind of judgmentless. It doesn't have much projection, it doesn't have much inflection. There's not much going on apart from the narrative kind of short sentence structure, descriptive nature of his writing. And you might kind of think of this as a negative thing. Why is there no conjecture? Why is there no opinion? Why is there no judgment? I believe that the reason that his writing is so effective and is so compelling is because it leaves a lot of space for the reader to enjoy the book and the reader to kind of imagine the story and build it up in your head as you read. So this isn't just in the imagining of characters and scenes, this is also in the kind of making of judgments and deciding what you think of the characters. No opinion is really given to you. It's up to you to make your own moral judgment and decisions about the people who you meet. The other thing about the writing of The Queen's Gambit, which Tevis does exceptionally well, is this kind of cyclical narrative. So the story kind of begins and ends in similar places, if that makes sense. Beth Harmon comes full circle as a character, and she kind of is taken on this road of difficulty and addiction and trauma, but then she ends up back in a peaceful place again, doing something that she really loves. So I don't want to give too much away, but of course it relates to chess playing. She begins playing chess with the caretaker of the orphanage in the basement, who is quite an old man, and she ends the story when she's playing chess with some old men in a park in Russia. And it just kind of very neatly ties the story together, and you kind of feel like her character has had a full resolution. So you might be wondering if the story is based on a true story, and I looked this up because I was curious, but no, it's not. It's basically based on the world of chess. So there are different grandmasters who inspired Tevis's writing. I think most of them are from the 60s because this was published in the 80s, and so he kind of drew inspiration for the figures that he knew and had heard of. Apparently, however, Beth's career in the book actually closely resembles a man called Bobby Fischer's, who grew up in a low-income household and whose whose accomplishments are very similar to Beth Harmon's, but whose personality and kind of life story isn't necessarily. I believe he struggled with kind of mental health and mental illness, but Beth doesn't struggle with that. She struggles with addiction and she struggles with loneliness and other things. So then the big question, do you have to care about chess to enjoy this novel? So I'm not a chess player. I know the rules. I'm capable of playing chess, but I don't particularly enjoy playing chess. I'm not particularly good at it. But I did enjoy the novel and I did enjoy the TV show. And I think the reason I was able to enjoy them so much was because the story isn't actually about chess. Of course it is about chess because she's a chess player, but the story is about more than chess. It's about her struggles with addiction, it's about her struggles with loneliness, it's about her loss, it's about her rejection from society, it's about her need to be accepted, it's about friendship, and it's about kind of finding love and passion in a world where she could have just kind of given up and been very average and not had any drive, and nobody would have really cared. That's why they are so compelling to watch, because they're about real things, real problems. Should you read this book? Yes, you should 100% read this novel, even if you've already watched the show. I think it's an excellent piece of writing that says a lot about character, that says a lot about humanity, that says a lot about people, that engages with a lot of themes which kind of overarch across humanity and involve everyone to some extent. To me, this is the perfect example of how a kind of topically irrelevant story might have incredible thematic relevance to a reader and to many readers. And I hope it's helped you decide whether or not you should read this novel. I would really recommend you do. And if you have already read it, then let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it. How did you feel about it in comparison to the TV show? Just give me your thoughts. I'd love to hear them and I'd love to chat about the book some more. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe before you go. It means so much to me. Bye!